can you protect your home against cold weather? How can we keep pipes from freezing? How can we keep Mother Nature at bay, keep her outside, and live comfortably inside? Well, there's a few things we can do. There's a couple of scenarios. If the weatherman says, hey, it's going to be below freezing for 3 or 4 hours tonight, you can probably kick back and relax and not think twice about it. That's not very long. Now, the other scenario, he might say, oh, we're going to be below freezing perhaps for 12, 24, 48 hours. Now, that's something you need to maybe come to and say, maybe I need to do a few things. So that's what we're going to cover in this video, is just some short little tips to help you get through some cold spells, maybe prevent having to call your insurance agent about something that went south during a cold spell. But let's take a look at how to keep pipes from freezing. There's just a few easy steps. Let's see. Alrighty, so let's say we're going to do a stage 1 kind of preventive maintenance here. So it's going to be cold tonight. What can I do initially? Well, make sure the heat is on. So we're going to go into here, we're going to go to the system, and here you can see it's set on heat. We're going to say done. And then what are we going to set the heat to? Again, that's going to be kind of a preference, but in this house we're going to keep it at about 70. If you're at 68 to 70, 72 degrees, the house will be nice and warm at night. Why is that important? Because if the house is nice and warm, then the heat will radiate outward into the exterior walls, and if there's pipes in those exterior walls, they'll stay kind of warm. So keep the heat on. If your cabinets are on an outside wall, obviously the outside wall is the most prone to freeze at night. So in order to keep the pipes warm, one trick you might do, come in and simply open the vanities on the bottom. What this is simply going to do is, during the evening when the warm air circulates throughout the house, it'll also help warm up that outside wall. But again, another thing you might try is if you go to the big box store, Home Depot, Lowe's, your local hardware store, is get one of these things. This is simply a hose bib insulated cover. All it is basically a styrofoam insulated box, and you hook it around your hose bib, you pull basically the little zip tie, and it'll lock it on place, and it seals against the wall with this styrofoam gasket. And that provides you some insulated air. Again, it will still be cold out there, but it's keeping the wind and the air from directly getting onto the hose bib, which will keep it warm. And again, some of that warm air will migrate through the wall from your warm house and warm that up as well. So these things are very easy to install. It takes about 10 seconds, and it could save you from a burst pipe down the road. Nice things to have. Maybe before you go to bed, go in and just simply go around the house, flush all the toilets. Do that. Maybe run a load of laundry as you're going off to bed. That'll keep water going in the system for a while. And then first thing in the morning when you wake up, do the same thing. Run around and make sure you test them all and get some water moving through the pipes. Water moving through pipes probably isn't going to freeze, so that's what we're trying to achieve. Simple little exercise of opening and closing the water valves, hot and cold water valves. Another valve we don't think about is, what if we have a refrigerator like this one back here, where we've got automatic ice cube maker, we got a water dispenser there in the door. Well, that's got a valve behind it. Now, I'm not suggesting you pull that out and disconnect and do all that other kind of stuff, but simply, again, run some water through it. The simplest thing, you can't really control the ice cubes coming out and dropping and then it filling up with water, and that would make water go through it. But you can simply go over there, take a glass of water, get a glass of water. Again, that moves water through the pipe that's in the wall, through the machine and into your glass, and that keeps water moving. So do that before you go to bed. Do that when you wake up in the morning. Water's good for you. Enjoy it. Hey, I'm going to go shut off the water. That's when the weatherman says, hey, it's going to be below freezing for 48 hours. For most of you, the main shutoff will be out here on the outside of the house, usually on the front left or the front right of the house. Some of you may have the shutoff perhaps in your garage. Look for it there, up toward the garage door. But for most of you, I'll kind of zoom in here. You'll have a valve that kind of looks like this. And it's just simply, again, a simple 90-degree turn of this, like that, will shut the water off to the house. That's all there is to it. And we're going to drain the pipes to make sure they don't freeze tonight. All right, so you successfully shut off the water to the house. Now the quickest way to empty the majority of the water out of the pipes is to simply go right next to it. Again, here is our valve down here in the flower bed in this case, but over here is a hose bib. All I would do is come over here, open up the valve, and you'll notice it didn't take long, but that let a bunch of water out of the pipes. But now we're going to go around, we're going to open the other hose bib on the other side of the house and some of the fixtures on the inside of the house. Alrighty, congratulations, you made it through the cold spell. Things are going well. So if you were one of those folks that went and turned off the water, now we've got to do everything in reverse, right? So we want water to come back on. Weather's above freezing, the sun might actually be out. It's a great day. So start off on the inside. Just walk around the house, make sure everything is in the off position. Cold water's off, hot water's off, everything's off. Then walk around the outside of the house, turn off all the hose bibs if you haven't done that already. Make sure they're closed. And then you go over to the main water shutoff. But now we're going to go the other direction, 90 degrees upwards. Very slowly. You want to just slowly open it up. You'll hear it. You'll hear water going into the pipes. And then as it starts filling, eventually you won't hear it anymore. That's when the pipes are full. I've shut off the hose bib here by the main shutoff. And I'm going to put this in nice and close. Hopefully you can hear the water. So what we're going to do is slowly open the valve. You can hear the water flowing. Now the sound has gone away, so now I'll turn this all the way up. And the water is on. Now I'm going to go through the house and I'm going to start checking, make sure everything's good. So that's good, and then you're fully open, but you're not done. Now walk through the house. You have trapped some air inside a bunch of the pipes, which is good. We want some air trapped in the pipes. But then when you walk around to the faucets, open up the faucets, maybe get a drink of water from the refrigerator, open up the hose bibs on the outside. You may hear them cough and gasp and spray water. That's the air coming through the pipes. That's normal. And then water will start flowing regularly. Now, obviously, we just went through a cold spell. You're going to want to walk around now that the water's back on. Look around. Make sure nothing's leaking or dripping. Maybe stick your head up in the attic. Maybe go out to the garage if that's where your water heater is. Just make sure there's no leaks showing up. So it's a very simple process.